In the last few weeks, South Africa has been gripped by what can only be described as a food poisoning epidemic. Or is it a foreign spaza shop epidemic? It depends on who you ask. Let's take a deep dive into this because clearly, the situation isn't chaotic or absurd enough already. First, the timeline. For anyone keeping track, this sudden rise in food poisoning incidents started around late September 2024, because what better time than spring for an outbreak? Over 100 cases of food poisoning have been reported, many of them involving school children, because the universe decided kids haven't had enough trauma with homework and peer pressure. The most recent cluster of cases occurred in Gauteng province, but the fun is being spread around as reports come from KZN, Mpumalanga, and Limpopo as well. Who says South Africans aren't generous? Now, for the allegedly suspicious part. The spotlight has landed firmly on foreign-owned spaza shops. Yes, not the local tuck shops, or the big chain supermarkets where best before labels are often a game of chance. The accusations have specifically targeted these small, corner shops that just happen to be owned by foreign nationals, mainly from countries like Ethiopia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Somalia. Surely, this is just a coincidence. After all, nothing says international conspiracy like your local corner store selling expired bread and questionable polony to school kids, right? The real kicker? Only kids are affected. That's right, adults, those humans who, one assumes, also eat from these same shops, seem to have been granted magical immunity from this foreign food poisoning. Clearly, there's a hidden ingredient in those spaza snacks that only messes with digestive systems of kids. One might even suggest that these shops have developed an elite level of precision poisoning, target the underaged, spare the parents. Or, maybe adults are just too busy dealing with the price of petrol to notice their stomach aches anymore. But back to the kids. School children have been falling ill at an alarming rate. Take the case in Krugersdorp, because, of course, Krugersdorp. In late September, around 80 children from a single school were rushed to the hospital after consuming snacks bought from, you guessed it, a foreign-owned spaza shop. Their symptoms? Vomiting, stomach cramps, and a general feeling of misery, which might sound like a typical day in school for some, but this was different. These were real medical emergencies. The children were treated, and thankfully, none of them suffered life-threatening complications. But still, the media ate it up like it was the last slice of pepperoni pizza at a family gathering. Not to be left out, KZN had its moment in the spotlight with a series of incidents reported in mid-October. Children there, too, started mysteriously dropping like flies after consuming cheap snacks. Could it be that KZN is competing for the title of the worst food poisoning hotspot? The competition is fierce, as Mpumalanga is also in the running with its own cases involving, you guessed it again, foreign-owned spaza shops. Now, it's time to ask the obvious questions that no one really wants to answer. Why, oh why, is it only foreign-owned shops that are being blamed? Are local spaza shops completely incapable of selling dodgy food? Surely, South Africans have enough entrepreneurial spirit to sell bad meat too. And let's not forget the giants of the retail world. Have you ever walked through the frozen food section of some South African supermarkets? It's a wonder more people aren't hospitalized daily. The blame game is in full swing, and as usual, foreign nationals are the star players. But let's be real for a moment. Could it be that someone is purposefully framing these foreign-owned shops? I mean, if you really want to stir up xenophobic sentiments, what better way than to poison kids and then point the finger at a group that's already a convenient scapegoat for everything from job losses to load shedding? Could it be that some people are taking their cues from a certain high-ranking South African politician, whose name I won't mention, but let's just say he's no stranger to controversy? It wouldn't be the first time that xenophobic rhetoric has led to tragic consequences. Conspiracy theories aside, where are the facts? Well, this is where things get a bit murky. Despite all the accusations flying around, no concrete evidence has been produced linking these spaza shops to the food poisoning cases. The South African Health Products Regulatory Authority has been suspiciously quiet on the matter, probably because they're still trying to figure out how this all makes sense. Law enforcement, on the other hand, has been slightly more vocal. Gauteng police have opened several investigations, but as of yet, no arrests have been made. So much for swift justice. And let's not forget the media, because we all know how level-headed and unbiased they can be. The coverage has ranged from sensationalist headlines like "Foreign shops poisoning our kids" to the more subdued "Investigations ongoing in food poisoning scandal." The truth, as always, is likely somewhere in between, but who has time for that when you can grab eyeballs with fear-mongering? One thing's for sure, the narrative is clear: foreign-owned spaza shops are bad, and South African kids are paying the price. But is that really the full story? Or is it possible that some local players are stirring the pot, pun intended, to further their own agendas? South Africa has a long and complicated history when it comes to xenophobia, and it's not a stretch to think that these recent food poisoning incidents could be part of a larger, more sinister plan. For now, all we can do is wait and watch as this saga unfolds. Will the real culprits be caught? Will foreign nationals continue to be the convenient fall guys? And most importantly, will South African adults ever start getting food poisoning from these shops, or is that just too much to hope for? Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates.